Caruana taking on Alireza Firouzja. And there we've got them on our screens, and it looks like Fabi's the one who's in a think right now. Is there a favorite in this matchup, Robert?
You're asking a very good question. I would say that Fabiano's had the better year of chess, but we spoke to Alireza, and he was saying, I took this year to focus on me. I wanted to get into different social circumstances. I wanted to just explore other things outside of chess. But next year, he said, he promises in 2024, he will be playing much more chess. So he's still focused. Right now in this position, I would say I like White's pawns. All of these.
You mentioned, Robert, that you like White's position. For me, I think that Black has set up quite a bit of play already. I love that bishop on a7, that's eyeing the diagonal. The rook is already lifted to e6. I'm dreaming of it landing on g6 at some moments. The knight on h5 and g6 eyeing the f4 square. David, I agree with you, it's calculation time. And having played, these kind of positions with the black pieces, I feel that Alireza should be happy with the opening outcome. Now, is there anything direct in this position?
That's the big question, and always when your opponent has a king that can potentially be targeted, you should look at going for it as quickly as possible. And one question, you mentioned sliding that rook, the rook lift, the theme of the day so far. Can Black throw a knight into the f4 square and say, I'm clearing the path for a rook? If you take me, I will replace that with another knight. I'm not sure whether Black even flicks in a check first of all, maybe you do. And once the other knight lands, suddenly it's 3 pieces. 3 is the magic number here. 1 rook check threatened. You're threatening to take this pawn with the black bishop. You're threatening to maybe deliver a checkmate within 2 moves with the black queen. This looks scary. It looks very scary. How does White survive this attack?
It looks scary, but if I trust somebody to have studied scary lines, Fabiano is definitely at the top of the list. But I'm with you. This, to my eyes, looks like Black has a blossoming attack that might end the game very quickly. So we'll see if Alireza does go for this, because it's quite committal. I mean, you see the engine saying it's about level, but when you give up material and the engine says it's equal, that might mean you either have a repetition by force, or you have to prove it move after move, and over an extended period of time, we quite often see mistakes made by the attacking player.
Yeah, so I do envisage a long think here from Firouzja. It is that committal, as you mentioned, Robert, and no way back. You're essentially saying, I'm sacrificing, I'm going to checkmate you, or I'm going to lose on material. And that type of decision is, well, it takes courage, and it's a really tough one. I think he might go for it. It is his style, Alireza.
It really is, right? He's known for his creative, aggressive play, and it is the moment he's paused. And the fact that he's gone into a think, this has got to be the move that you're looking at, because otherwise you just blitz out a normal move like queen to d7 or queen to f6. But I think if Black plays slow here, White gets the time to bring that knight from f1 to e3, block out the diagonal, and then you've lost this moment to actually go for the direct line that you were pointing out, David. And I noticed the eval bar didn't move after sacrificing the knight. So it looks like it improves. Huge moment. Will Alireza Firouzja go for the critical knight to f4? safe here. We will check in on that. And right now, this is the view. One like Fabi?
And Fabi does quite well against Alireza overall. He scored some big wins against him, including in the Grand Swiss back in 2021, and he beat him in the first half of the candidates in 2022. But Alireza is combative, and we heard Fabi say that. He was like, he brings a fight every single game. Fabi considers himself in the same vein, and the fight is just being brought to white because white's pieces are all sorts of defensive here. The queen on f1, stopping a checkmate on g2. But now, how do you actually win this game for black? Because even if you take on c5, white will bring that rook into the game, and he starts with h4, and the end he creeped up a little bit for white, but still heavily in black's favor. I think that's going to help Firouzja more.
Easier to attack than defend, right? With the clock ticking and 30 seconds. Fabiano, he's living life on the edge, both on board and clock. It looks desperate. You have to try and bring the white rook across to defend, but simple two-move concept. Move the black queen, push the h pawn, as you say.
I think what white is counting on is that when you move the queen, the white king steps up on h2, or probably h2, where you just sidestep the pin, stopping the idea of h3. So that is a defensive resource still possible for Fabi, taking advantage of that queen leaving control of the h-file. And Alireza pauses. Goes on the other side of the board.
a5, what a move.
What a classy move there. He's simply breaking that black bishop out of jail. He's going to add an attacking piece, and that will overwhelm white's defenses. As soon as the black bishop's out, look at that down. Just full board awareness there. Fantastic.
And now I think there are tactics in black's favor because he dragged that bishop up to c3, queen f3 goes queen g4, but the point is that rook on c1 is loose in many lines. I thought queen f3 was the way to go, but it's clear that queen g4 is also very strong.
White king has to move out of the pin on the g-file, and okay, what's he going to do? He's pushing, kicking that white knight away. At the very minimum, there will be a perpetual check here for black. You can give a bunch of checks with the black queen. White's king, how is it going to survive simply? Still no checkmate. White's knight is holding the key g2 square. You need that black bishop to join the attack somehow. How do you get through? How do you break through here? Land a killer punch.
Wow, and you've got to do all of that with under 10 seconds on the clock. And he gives a check, and I don't believe that he's going to repeat in this position. He goes for it.
Yeah, he takes that pawn c5. David asks, how do you break that bishop into the action? You're going to take the pawn in its path. And if white tries to keep the position closed, you push the pawn forward. You need to get rid of this knight on e3.
And here we go. Firouzja gives another couple of checks. Now he gets his bishop out, and that white knight is going to disappear. It's threatened right now. If black plays bishop takes knight, it is game over. White collapses.
Fabi playing that move with just 2 seconds on the clock, and it's handshakes as he risks the Alireza Firouzja with the black pieces. A flawlessly executed attack takes the lead in their match. What a performance.
What a game. What a dominant display from Firouzja. From start to finish, he brought it to Fabi. He was not going to get a closed position and get pressed. He's just destroyed Fabiano in that game.
Game of the tournament so far.